I have no words for the order I'm about to show you. Well, actually, that's not true because I have a lot to say. But in today's video, we are going to go over why DoorDash must stop orders just like these, and this is why. Now, this is not my order. It was sent to me, but every time I think I've seen the worst DoorDash order, like another one comes along and it makes me go, wow. And this is just one of those orders. And it just blows my mind that something like this exists on the DoorDash platform because it's insulting, it's ridiculous, and to expect a Dasher to do something like this, I just don't get it. So here is the order. Okay, so the order is $15.25. Yes, you are seeing this screen correctly. It says 46.6 miles for a Starbucks. Not even for a restaurant, for a Starbucks. I'm going to let that one sink in just for a little bit. Can you imagine driving 46 miles for $15 to deliver someone's Starbucks? So let me ask you, when you see this, does this make you mad? Because it makes me infuriated that this is even an order that was offered to a Dasher. Okay, so let's put reality. If a Dasher actually did this, please tell me no one actually did this. That's the only thing I can say. In order for someone to do this, 46 miles, and I'm going to even say highway miles. It's going to take you an hour to get to this place. That doesn't include driving all the way back. So you're literally talking about 92 miles there and back. And during nighttime, because it says that it was supposed to be delivered at 9:03, 9:06, something like that. So at nighttime, you're putting 95 miles on your car for $15. Not only that, I don't know about you, but as a Dasher, I value my time and how much I make per hour. You're talking on a minimum 2 hours to complete this order. It might even be in 2.5 hours, depending on if there's a wait at Starbucks, or is it county roads? Is it highway roads? I don't know that. So you're getting paid $15 for 2 hours, maybe 2.5 hours worth of work. Talk about unfair labor wages. That's why this order is so infuriating to me. We always talked about, the bare minimum and how we joke around a lot that, DoorDash is barely minimum wage. This order puts a driver under minimum wage. If you divide the 15 into 2 hours, $7.50 per hour. Talking about knowing what your worth is, obviously DoorDash doesn't value the driver or the time that they put into it or the wear and tear in the car. Like, they just see that a customer wants their Starbucks 46 miles away, and this is what we're going to offer someone to do that. Anybody find that wrong? Well, we're going to get into more of the details on this because I'm going to break it down from all levels, from the customer to DoorDash to the driver, all three people in this scenario, so we can really dissect this order and how bad it really is. But first, initial reactions, go ahead, let me know, what do you think of this order? Okay, let's talk about the customer. Now, if it was a regular restaurant, I would say the customer knew exactly what they were doing, ordering something 46 miles away. Now, this customer, I don't know their area. It's Starbucks. The likelihood of there being a closer Starbucks than the one that this Dasher got is pretty good. However, it was 9 o'clock at night, so maybe her local one was closed at that point, and this was the only one that was open. But DoorDash is the one who sends the order to a specific Starbucks and then dispatches a Dasher. So I don't think the customer is at fault unless they knew that they were ordering from a specific Starbucks 46 miles away. But for all sakes and purposes, like, I am going to put the blame on this one on DoorDash because they knew what they were doing. But as a customer, would you want your order that far away? Especially when it comes to drinks, coffee, cold drinks, because when they arrive, it's not going to be hot. That I can tell you. If it is a cold ice drink, it's going to be melted and watered down by that point. You're talking an hour drive for your drinks, or maybe it was food. I don't know, but I'm going to assume that it might have been a combo of both. What kind of good customer, DoorDash, what kind of good customer service is that a customer has to wait an hour on the minimum side to get something as simple as Starbucks? But yet it was allowed for something like this to happen. Okay, let's go into DoorDash. Why does DoorDash think that this is acceptable for any Dasher to do? That's the one thing I keep on getting to, because I know their mindset is a customer placed an order. We need to get this order to this customer. And I've said this for years now, that there needs to be a cap on max miles for every delivery zone. And you could be a rural area, you could even be an urban area, you could be a suburban area, but there needs to be a cap based off of your own zone. I get rural areas, you're going to need to have longer miles because things are a little bit more spread out. Unlike where I live, things are kind of compact together, so you don't need the longer miles. But wherever you live, there should be some kind of cap on how far a driver goes to do a delivery. That's first thing. Second, to put any driver through an order like this, honestly, it should be banned and stopped. These orders are getting more and more ridiculous. Like, we used to think back in the day, like, $2 orders were absolutely ridiculous. It's one thing to give out a 46-mile order, but it's another thing to not pay the driver to do what's expected of them fairly. Like, this is so unfair and so unreasonable. Not even talking about like the dollar amount, which I just talked about being less than minimum wage. It's just unacceptable. At least in my opinion, it is. And once again, guys, this video is completely my opinion and what I really think about this order. You can share what your own opinions are in the comment section. Okay, so let's get to the driver. Honestly, let's call it what it is. No driver should ever take an order like this, no matter what your tier level is or no tier level is. I am a Platinum Dasher, and I've been a Platinum Dasher for years now. Even if this brought me down to the next tier, I still would have never taken this, because I am not putting myself through this as a Dasher. I'm not putting myself through the stress. I'm not putting 90 miles on my car for $15. And that's the way you need to look at this. I get that people want to take orders to maintain high acceptance rates. Believe me, I am there. I do it every single day. But nothing like this is ever worth anything any program DoorDash has in their arsenal. And you need to really think hard about some of these orders and save your declines for stuff just like this. It just, first of all, I hope a driver never took this. I hope that DoorDash had to cancel this order because it was so absolutely ridiculous and they couldn't have found a driver to do this. Or they bumped it so far up that eventually they got someone. But I can't imagine DoorDash spending close to $46 because that's probably what it would take for a driver to actually do this order. They really are a company who is trying to see how little they can pay their drivers to get something accomplished. And this just is never the way to go. Okay, so let's have some fun with this. How much would it take you to do an order that is 46 miles away? It could be any number. Go ahead. What is your bare minimum it would take you to do an order just like this? You know, DoorDash is doing some crazy things, but they are doing an update to the main screen coming to all Dashers very soon. You're going to want to learn all the details in this video up next, and I'll see you over there.